locked in.
We saw the power of the Nautilus Orianna from SK Telecom back when we cast the Telecom War at Kilios. Certainly some Wombo engaged, Wild Growth thrown in there as the blasting plan. They will meet each other. Puts the ward first. Here we go.
Yeah, so doesn't do this blindly. See Cuvee starting to wrap around. Get there in time. Haru jumps forward. Mowgli's gonna have to dash out of here. Burns the flash to try to keep himself alive. Cuvee comes over the wall. The Shadow Dash comes through, and that's First Blood crucially going over to Crown on the rise. Had to use his ghost.
Look at his record, 4-1. You're like, okay, this guy, they're working around him. Do you remember who those games were against, though? Look at this.
Burrow way too far forward, flashes away, and that last auto attack comes through just way too far up in the lane. He gets punished for it. 2 back coming through for Crown. Already has the tier and the boots of lucidity. Good pressure there by Marn. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, that's just going to be Tucson getting absolutely annihilated. Or JJ comes up with the kill, and that's a third. See though, still windows of opportunity for them to try to turn this around. They're going to do so right here in the mid lane. Dredge line coming down onto Crown. Shockwave comes through. Stand United won't finish channeling in time for Cuvee to arrive, but even so, he might not have wanted to. So Crown will just go. Now going to be jumped on by Mowgli. Depth charge comes through, flashes away, but the Dredge line comes out. Will dodge out that damage from the end of the line. They slow him up with the Riptide, and this should be a dead shed. Shield at last second. Won't be enough to keep him alive. Almost able to trade one back onto Marin. But he goes down, but meanwhile, Sam's
brick that Afreeca weren't able to pick up, but they're going to try to teleport. Marin coming in.
So they can force this up. Tucson getting locked down. Roots come through. There's just nothing the Lulu can do. He gets taken out. Meanwhile, Crown getting popped up by the depth charge. Stand United finally. The Tristana pick here in Korea, Papa Smith. You saw Uzi playing that the other day. I'll have to hold that thought, actually. Realm Warp coming in on top of Koro. He pops on the Shockwave immediately, but does not matter. He goes down. Stand United committed onto Haru just to keep him safe. Underneath that turret, and that's going to be a second one. Going over to Samsung.
And the cleanse wasn't enough. It looked like he cleansed the...
Available, but so does Cuvee. They're going to go ahead and commit this one. Ruler flashes away, but gets caught by the Ash Arrow immediately into the Dredge line. He's going to be dead. Tries to trade a little bit of damage back, but that is going to put a halt to Samsung pushing in for that last outer turret.
And while it looks good, you know...
Haru going for a thrilling hunt. Can't really find a target to go onto yet. Meanwhile, Ruler, he gets engaged on the whole shebang that Afreeca have to offer. Stranglethorns comes down, Tucson gets popped up. He's actually the first one to die. Ruler's still alive in the backside of the fight for the longest time. Finally goes down as Marin finds the kill. A Crown wrapping around from the top lane. They lock him down, and that is going to be a double kill going over to Haru. Koro just not able to do anything.
Got baited by the Faker Shockwave. Not Equalizer. Shockwave. Noticeable. Get to that 6-item Orianna point. See if Samsung will clump up.
Oh, Ash Arrow comes through, connects on the core. JJ, they commit the Shockwave. Volley comes through, that's enough to take him out. So nice pick coming through from Afreeca.
What's... Wave clear.
My favorite. Curtain call, that's some action. Kramer getting jumped on, flashes away from Haru immediately, but now Tucson gonna be the target, likely will go down. There it is. Kill picked up by Haru. Now Crown pitching on the backside, locks down Kramer. Stranglethorns come through, he gets popped up, and that's gonna be a double kill going over to the Rengar, and there's more action in the bottom lane. Cuvee at half HP.
But you see how the 1-3-1 works out. That's a Realm Warp. We didn't see West. Straight to Baron, Bjergsen style.
Yeah, they're going right in for it. Burrow does have that Shockwave available. Might be able to disrupt this. Crown trying to stop him from pushing forward, but he takes too much damage. He's going to have to peel back. Stand United coming through on top of him just to keep him healthy. Mowgli now wrapping around. Can he get the steal? No. Flashes in straight into the taunt. Cuvee says hello and thank you. Goodbye. They pick up the Baron. They pick up
to the Wild Growths. As, okay, slowly killing the Shen.
Yep, dodge field doing a lot of work there.
Meanwhile,
getting the damage, but that's going to be Haru and Crown pushing down into this bottom lane. Haru's still staying invisible. Doesn't want to show himself.
Pull it off.
Can they get him with the wraparound? Ruler going to walk straight into the face of Marin. Here comes the root. And this should be him going down perhaps. That flash away, the heal comes out. A little bit more damage. There it is. Collateral picks him up, but that is still going to be Mowgli paying for that one with his life, and Marin will follow suit. So they kill the Jhin yet again, but it's another double kill over to Haru, and he's like, whoo! It's feeling hot in here.
I mean, Haru's been racking up the kills. He's going to have Marin on the lineup. Cuve's not very interested in Marin.
Nope. Care about anything other than taking out that turret, so line does get broken. Hell, he might even get that in him first. Crown gets jumped on though. Stand United Nice Zonia's to dodge out on the Shockwave. Keeps him alive. Now the curtain call gets opened up on the backside by Ruler, sniping away as best as he can. Flash forward by Marin, throws on the depth charge onto Crown. Pops him up the backside, but he still makes it out relatively safely. Where JJ will go down, but now Samsung, do they want to just leave or do they want to try to do this one around? Looks like they might just have to retreat. 3 members fall. Haru and Crown, the only 2 that'll make it out with their lives. Crown goes back in, trades a lot of damage down onto Kramer. Flash forward from Mowgli. Can he finish off the rise? Head to the line will not connect. And Crown's just barely keeping himself up.
Watch Haru!
With these shields, Haru goes back forward, takes out Kramer, and he'll be able to walk away with that kill. No one can do a damn thing. Taking the long route, trying to wrap around, join the rest of his team. Elder Dragon currently about half HP. Afreeca, they push back in, they re-engage it. 3,000 health on it. Can Samsung come up with it? No, they cannot. Mowgli picks up the kill, but can they get kills onto Samsung is going to be the question. Marlon gets popped back up, healed up by the Redemption. And now Afreeca Freecs are going to go ahead and try to retreat through the jungle. Super Creep starting to knock down those Nexus turrets, but they're still relatively healthy for now. Edge comes through, only rooting down Marin. Yet again, not the target that anybody wants. Haru opts through the hunt, but can't find an entry. Samsung, they shove him back, but they lose that Elder Dragon. They're going to have to take Baron instead.
Yeah, it's a rush to Baron. Afreeca completely out of position for that objective. Marin could teleport in there, but would eventually be focused down. It should be free Baron over to the side of Samsung Galaxy. Get a timer on at least.
Yep. So they spot that one out.
The backline, he can't dive past the Nautilus. We'll finally get the 3rd inhibitor turret though.
Take that out, QV going forward. See a lockdown onto Marin, he takes a little bit of damage. Room connects with the deadly flourish. Here comes Haru right into the back line, takes out Tucson, absolutely destroys him. Ruler gets dragged in, however, with a shockwave. 2-man taunt going through from QV. Can they follow up with the kills? The answer is going to be yes, as Mowgli goes down. It's going to be Core JJ picking that one up, and they lose ground. They're losing Core JJ. Now it's just QV all on his lonesome inside the base. A triple kill going over to Kramer. All the inhibitors are up. Afreeca, they get a second.
47 minutes into the game.
Ruler getting hit yet again, and Cleanse coming through, keeps them safe, but the turret is collapsing. Mowgli getting hit up, Wild Growth comes through, keeping the Graves alive. Last shot not going to connect. Haru goes into the back line. Does a hell of a lot of damage onto Kramer, but still can't come up with the pick. Samsung pushing forward, Realm Warp coming down, everybody jumping in, but Ruler, he's right in the front line, he gets caught with the dredge line, he'll go down as Kuro picks up the kill, but that's 2 members dead on the side of Afreeca Freecs with the GA pop from Marin. They're trying to lock him down. There we go. Crown finally gets that last Q through. 3 for 1. They trade up in such a big way, and now they're looking for more. TP to that top side. Or rather, where did he go? I'm confused.
He went to the top lane.
Okay. Oh, I thought I was looking at Crown for some reason. I'm stupid.
But the first time they finally got them out the base.
TP to the top lane.
You can see how important it was to finally get them out of the base. The Realm Warp was big, got them in the backline, they got the access they needed. They're going to try and finish the game before the respawns, and Samsung, what a crazy game, a weird one. It looked like it was going one way, then they were stalled out for, what, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
But they should ultimately win the game here.
Effectively fried my brain from all the back and forth here in the last half. QV pushing forward finds Kuro, just trying to lock him down long enough for the turrets to go down, which they will. And Samsung, 8 seconds left on Kramer and Mowgli. Nexus exposed. They have plenty of damage for this. They take it out. Almost a 15-minute game. Should have been a lot cleaner than it was. But they are able to get a win here in game 1.
I think it's really important for Afreeca Freecs that they manage that stall, that they managed to actually get it together, because the first he did not. And you know, the traditional counter pick to that Maokai has been either the Shen, which is banned away, or the that
definitely help out the team. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Tucson gonna get exhausted, flashes away, gets rooted down. It's gonna be the GP ultimate coming through, flash forward from Haru, trying to get the kill. The heal comes out from Kramer. He jumps back in. There it is, first blood coming up. Haru puts another on the board.
Yeah, really big mistake from Tucson. They already spotted out Rengar in the bottom. Gangplanks try and run into the Maokai.
Yeah, get that big burst. Meanwhile, bottom lane, trying to find a play onto Kramer. Curtain call comes through. He's going to pop the heal already. The tether now coming through from Core. JJ Haru jumps in, finds Tucson as a target, but he gets locked up with the Ash Arrow, and he's going to get deleted. Tucson comes up with the killing blow. Meanwhile, up top, Weaver's Wall comes down. QB getting locked up. Comes off the root with the orange. Flashes away. Thread volley still coming through. They should have the cooldowns to take him out. There we go. 2 kills. Very swiftly put on the board by Afreeca Freecs across the map. Maybe finding a third. Core JJ walking in, spots.
Weird to call Samsung's comp a snowball comp because it's Gangplank Orianna, most traditionally thought of as mid to late game champions, but we're probably going to see full damage once again as...
Oh boy, Crown getting pitch on, does not have the flash to get himself out of here, pops the shockwave, but just no damage coming through. He goes down, Spirit picks up the kill.
Yeah, good. Weaver's Wall from Kuro, leaving lane then darting straight into mid. Nothing Crown could do in that scenario. This is the opposite of Snowball, and here comes the backline dive.
TP coming through. That's going to be the Weaver's
No
wall,
way to
cutting
go.
off Crown and Haru. Haru's already invisible, so it might just be the Orianna going down, throws out that shockwave to try to delay the rest of the team from coming through, but it just doesn't do enough. Kramer comes up with the kills. Crown goes down.
Yeah, really nice Talia wall. Nowhere to run for Crown. Dives twice during his...
Go ahead and start the recall in the brush, but Kramer is very close by. Throws out the Ash Arrow. It connects. Barnes here to follow up, but this is almost certainly going to be a dead GP. He's going to try to trade one back onto Kramer. Big chunk of damage coming through. The Wild Growth is there to keep the Ash alive. Cannon Barrage won't get those last few hits in. Definitely would have been a kill if not for the Lulu, but still, Cube goes down.
There's 3 members sent only to get a kill bot. Now, if they can get the pressure in mid lane, that's
your team. In order to say that they're actually improving.
Guys, we know you can beat SKT, but if you could just 2-0 Jin Air, that'd be great.
It would be. Speaking of 2-0s, Afreeca looking to put 2 more kills on the board. They're only finding Crown, though. Weaver's Wall not able to cut off Core JJ. He's able to exit up around the backside of that Baron pit, so. Seconds will not be able to join the fight. Tucson flashing away from that deadly flourish, but now the Kurt Call gets opened up on the backside of the
on
pit.
the Baron.
Going low, 3K here. Haru waiting over the wall, jukes out on the Ash Arrow, goes into the pit. Can he go with the seal? No, it's not going to happen. Spirit takes it away. They get rid of the Rengar. And that's going to send Samsung heading for the hills. And now with 7,500, even he can't really push up far enough to try to land this. So the turret will just go down. Inhibitor now exposed in mid. There's split push coming down from Kramer and Tucson in the bottom lane, already getting down onto this inhib turret. They are just chunking this out. Weaver's Wall coming through, just completely cutting them off. Really nicely done by Kuro. The first inhib will fall. 30 minutes on the clock. Afreeca, how much more can they get? That's going to be the question. Curtain Call open up. Kuro going to be the target. Takes a bit of damage, but the Redemption will come down. Heals them back up. They jump onto Marin. Should be able to take out the Maokai. They do so. Crown comes up with a kill, and now Afreeca. They fight their way outside of the base. Spear goes over the wall. Immediate exhaust comes down. Won't get too much damage through. Redemption from Samsung popping them back up. Oh! Big seismic shove. Crown goes down. Kramer coming up with the kill as he's just sitting inside the base. Firing up over top of the wall. A triple kill. Let's make it a quadra. Can he get the penta? He's hunting down Haru as best as possible. The volley will connect for the slow. Can he finish it out? Glenn's off coming through. They slow him with the smoke screen. Haru. He's going to be out of here. They really want the pentakill, but the rest of Afreeca Freecs, they're focusing on the win. They'll be able to take this out and win it right here. 30 minutes on the clock. Haru, did they mess up the handoff? There we go. Pentakill goes over to Kramer right at the end of the game. Happy Kramer Day, buddy. You got it in the end. And they will come up with a win, which means Afreeca Freecs are taking us to game number 3.
The Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of League of Legends continues for the Afreeca Freecs. The same team that just died solo in lanes in game 1. Turn it around in game 2 and in fact, color caster now.
Yay, I know matchups, sort of.
They don't change too much, it turns out.
Yep, they stay the same.
The big question mark here will be
out. Red buff's not there from Haru, but it does not matter. This will almost certainly still be that first blood coming through. Eventually, one more hit. There we go. Haru picks it up.
With such a waiting game, in the end, the Q going out was enough to guarantee the kill on Marin with no flash. You know, some other mid laners would consider going Boots and the Null Magic Mantle. Still dealing with the Cassio, but trusting for the Catalyst to be enough.
Oh, down bot. Yeah, we're going to have to get a replay of this one to see. I mean, I think we can kind of guess how things transpired. Haru comes in, takes out Tucson. They follow up with another one swiftly onto Kramer. 2 kills picked by Marin into the bottom lane. Going to be matched by Cube, but it's going to be a bit later. Berserk is available if he wants to try to eject somebody. Throws it out. Won't find anybody, just a couple minions. Devourer was keeping Stitch alive, but now the Dreadline comes through onto Haru. He jumps back in, just trying to trade some damage for his life, but won't get much. Crown arriving, but might just have to be the peel back from both teams. Spirit splitting in. Realmore popped. Gonna bait them out. Crown will go in by himself, now cut off, but it doesn't matter. The rest of Samsung is here on top of the Afreeca Freecs. Wild Growth used on top of Tucson himself. Haru goes over the wall, trying to get on top of Barn. Crown comes in with a flash, locks him down, takes him out with the overload. One picked up for Samsung. Can they get more? Afreeca are poking stacks. Still coming through, so he's got a little bit more time, but you have to expect that it's be damn near full at this point. Missile Voyage up to the top side. Haru and Joe jumps in onto Koro. Petrifying Gaze catches Core JJ, so we can't follow up with the Devour, but they jump forward, and the Wild Growth won't do enough. He goes down. Haru claims the kill. Now, can they get out? Looks like the pinch is not going to come through from the rest of Afreeca. They'll go ahead and peel back.
Another time with this pre-planned strategy of the top lane.
Cuvée pushing really far forward. Kuro's coming around the sidelines. Stretch line to draw him in. Keeper's verdict comes out. Oh, right between the two. Petrifying Gaze to lock him up. That's going to be a dead Poppy. Kill goes over to Marin. So big whiff costs him his life.
But it's another one of those picks where, remember, it's not Gauntlet. It's Frozen Heart on the Nautilus. They're not under turrets. In fact, Nautilus is going to recall. So they won't get any objectives, just kills.
Sprinting his way back in. True Shot Barrage will reveal it, but they take it out. Smite comes through. Flash away from Kramer as he gets locked up by the Ash Arrow. Nicely done by Samsung. Down, Haru on the backside won't be there for the steal. He just wants to get the assassination, jumps onto Kramer in the back line. Redemption pops him back up, so he's relatively healthy for now. But Flying Gaze won't find anybody with the dredge line. Connects it onto Cuvée, dragging him back in. Devour comes through from Core JJ, just trying to keep him alive for a bit longer. Now jumping over onto Crown, trying to kite his way out of the fight. Won't be able to do so. Spirit comes up with a kill, and Cuvée is almost certainly going to go down. There it is. One last Mystic Shot takes him out. Infernal Drake +2 to Afreeca Freecs.
Super cool.
Infernal, you can see Samsung. They just can't push up to try to clear out these waves.
10 seconds on Rise.
The inhib line being broken by Afreeca Freecs. 35.5 minutes. They're able to do it.
Really cool fight.
Oh, Core JJ, speaking of overextended, Ash Arrow now comes through. Spirit getting locked up. It's going to be Keeper's Verdict. Ejects Tucson and Kramer out of the fight, but they're already on top of Stitch, and he goes down. Kuro coming up with the kill, and now Cuvée has to run for his life. Petrifying Gaze over the wall just to try to now Core JJ pushing up the river. Everybody on Afreeca relatively healthy. Snatch up comes through onto Crown, but the Devourer is there trying to keep him alive. Cuvée might just have to die for his team, and he does. Realm Warp comes through right before the dredge line. Will take them out to safety, but Baron goes over to the Afreeca Freecs.
Yeah, the front on doesn't work. You cannot run straight with your ults into Afreeca.
Clear these waves.
Afreeca haven't prepped their waves, so this is more about the dive. Maybe the next minion wave, they look for a big ultimate from Marin. They want to brute force down the second inhibitor.
The hunt coming out. Haru looking to pinch from the sidelines, but the turret has been broken, and Afreeca Freecs fearlessly shove inside the base and take out that second inhibitor.
No latitude for Haru. There's no way for him to actually get in the fight.
Dredge line connecting on to Core JJ. Redemption coming down. A little bit of damage in. Haru jumps forward, but can't get much. Now Cuvée having to run. Devour comes out from Core JJ yet again. Stitch alive, but Stitch goes down, and this might just be the end of the game in favor of Afreeca. Spirit going forward fearlessly with a flash, trying to get some damage in. Almost goes down. Does right at the end of that last turret shot, but that might not be enough to dissuade Afreeca Freecs. Marin's still here, has that Guardian Angel up, still does not have it popped.
Kramer has no mana though. This could be actually pretty tricky to close. I think it's smart for Afreeca to back away.
All right, looks like they will.
To win true 5v5s,
yeah.
And they're not getting the sort of catches that they were able to in game 1.
And they're not here to try to stop this Elder Dragon from going down, despite the fact that Spirit was dead. Stitch, he has to get devoured right off the bat.
Tucson.
Some damage in onto Marin. Tucson gets jumped onto the back line, has to use the Wild Growth onto himself. Cuvée going forward, gets popped up immediately. Big Petrifying Gaze, locks up Core JJ and Stitch. They take out the Ash dredge line on the ground, forcing the flash away. But the members of Samsung are just dying all over the place. Cuvée comes back up, the GA gets popped. Haru goes in, trying to assassinate this Ezreal, but he just can't do it. Kramer goes forward to the Arcane Shift, finds himself a double kill. And with 3 members dead, effectively all 5 of them, because Crown and Cuvée can't do a damn thing. That will be game number 3. Going over to Afreeca Freecs, 42 minutes on the clock. They come up with a win.
And Kramer is clearly a sentimentalist because on his day he put out